today let me discuss about IoTs around the horizon. So IoT basically stands for Internet of Things. So as we defined, actually the Internet of Things describe physical objects that are embedded with sensors, processing ability, software and other technologies, and that connects and exchange data within each other. Now we can say that IoT are on the horizons. Basically in 2008 or 2009, so that's almost 10 years ago, we found out that the number of things connected to the internet already exceeded the number of people globally for the first time in the history. So right now, last 2019, the population is roughly about 7.9 billion. So it's almost 8 billion people living in Earth. So since then, the Internet of Things or the IoT has experienced rapid expansions. So as we see right now, any corners of the world, the Internet of Things are already invaded on how our life changes or how we deal with our life. So actually there are approximately 27 billion devices connected to data networks worldwide. So if you're going to analyze, almost 4 or 5 devices average per each person uses to connect to the data networks. Those devices include sensors, consumer electronics, even to the extent of the machinery in the manufacturing, wind turbines for electrifications, medical devices, which we are roughly like challenging right now, and automobiles. That's how the transportation also involves in with the connections of the Internet of Things. And as we saw, a rapid increase is also expected all throughout the years. According to the forecast, more than 30 billion will be connected to the internet by 2020. So right now, almost 30 billions of devices are interconnected. So that's how large the Internet of Network Things is handling right now. And the prediction is that it will reach 75 billion by the year of 2025. So, in effect, the IoT market will explode nearly tenfold. So, from about $249 billion last year to about $1.6 trillion in 2025. So now, maybe the questions out our mind, we're asking, what are the reasons why are we connecting to the Internet of Things? So basically, there are good reasons why more and more devices are connected to the internet. The main reason is that data is valuable, right? So, for example, the raw data. Those are the data from, let's say, as simple as coming from our refrigerator, or the data coming from the automotive, or the data from the industry bulb can be connected within each other to perform much more reliable type of system. So those kind of data is processed to derive new informations. The information is then used to initiate a proper maintenance sequence, such as applying, for example, a car brake, which can be automatically done, up to the complex as closing a bulb in a dam. That's how the Internet of Things might be applied. So, out of the data coming from these devices, data values are generated as soon as they are used. So, here are the examples on how to create value in the Internet of Things. So, this topic will discuss the different areas that can be maximized using the Internet of Things. First area, product improvement. So, basically, in the food industry, food processing, temperature monitoring, and the chemical compositions of raw material is very essential. As we all know, meats, dairy products, and those kind of items could somehow change their quality once the temperature changes. So with the use of the Internet of Things, product or raw material increase the quality, safety, and shelf life of products. Second impact area is the maintenance efficiency. Unplanned downtime of factories or transportation systems not only has catastrophic bad result as we all know. So these are the things that were, if it is avoided, and then it is much better, right? Because it is basically so much expensive and dangerous if it happens. So in IoT, by detecting the capabilities of factory equipments, maintenance can be performed before the equipment fails. So this is more sort of proactive applications of maintenance system. So by this proactive solutions, the expenses and then the risk of pertaining to maintenance efficiency is considered. Next is the waste reduction. So it is very important applications of Internet of Things. By getting the real-time information about resource consumption, for example, collecting data related to electricity, moving to the smart grid, gas flowing through pipes for factories and homes can be maintained or can be efficiently applied through Internet of Things and more. By this, waste can be resolved or eliminated by using resources as needed and identifying leaks. So this is some sort of use as needed. Okay, so once there's an integrated system that could detect when there is a leak, so somehow it performs maintenance and as is like reducing or eliminating those resources needed. And also sustainability, are able to sustain in a specific scenario. IoT enabled smart cities use sensors to collect data about weather and air quality. Just like what other countries using right now, they have some sort of automatic notifications within their consumers or within their citizens about the air quality measured either in smartphones or in sensors. So if the air quality is judged to be poor, for example, cities can take immediate actions, such as, for example, providing free public transport. This is how what the first world country is using right now. So it actually protect their citizens. At the same time, it can easily measures the impact of the corrective actions that may be implemented or that might be regulated through their policies and laws. In terms of energy efficiency, this is really evidence. Internet of Things really helps to maintain energy or to maximize the use of limited resources of energy. In example, solar panel shopping malls generate some energy used by the solar panel shopping mall if needed. Okay, so IoT enabled solutions will collect and analyze data based on the weather or let's say for example temperature, so that it could automatically turn on their refrigerations, their air conditions that could relate or that could be in effect consume energy. And at the same time, it also helps to control the market price of the energy. So the system will then automatically determine the most effective ways on how to use the energy which were generated by the solar panel modes at a given time and at a given number of ratios of the users. So this how efficient that's how we can efficiently use energy. For the optimized production, IoT will also play as an essential role in the future of manufacturing by networking all parts of the supply and production lines. Production can immediately adapt to produce products, optimize for new equipments, including customized product at a competitive price. So we can see that manufacturing business will be like really beneficial in terms of IoT applied type of business. So this IoT will play an important role on how they will decide how they will decide with their productions. Though though they can immediately adapt to the to determine the number of products that they're going to manufacture at a given time and the demand that are being needed by the consumers. So it will include the areas that we tackled a while ago, like energy efficiencies and some sort of sustainability in terms of their materials and equipment. In result, it optimized their production. And out of this, you can actually develop a disruptive business model. So IoT changed the way industry do business, such as right now, companies might offer simple things as pay as you go rather than selling the whole machines. Instead of buying the entire machines, which is somehow really expensive, you can simply boost the specific part of a machine which will you will use. In return, it will minimize cost and effectiveness as you perform pay as you go business type of models. So it helps the business owners at the same time, the consumers will have like a competitive price because of the expenses of the manufactured type of business also minimized. That's why in return the price would be like lesser. The considerable amount of data provided by the IoT often hides valuable information that cannot be found with simple analytical techniques such as statistics. So, with the adaptations of the artificial intelligence, they will work hand by hand to perform this kind of areas. So AI in IoT is generally very successful at performing the task of finding valuable information. But the use of AI, for example, the AI is the one of the main reason why the IoT is blooming. So it can independently recognize patterns in measured values in production and use that information to improve manufacturing process continuously. As I was saying a while ago, in terms of manufacturing business, there should be a proper business analytics involved before you decide on something. So this AI will help business analytics in terms of the sustainability within their resources use within their business. At the same time, the Internet of Things is driving the continued evolutions of artificial intelligence as we expect. Training neural networks, for example, will require vast amounts of data that, until recently, were not available in many cases. The Internet of Things, which are the connected things, are increasingly feeding data use to develop, improve, and train AI algorithms. Therefore, the Internet of Things has brought about changes in artificial intelligence. In the industrial IoT, processing IoT data or training and running AI models in nowadays is a combination of edge computing and cloud computing. So let's discuss first what is a cloud computing. As definition, a cloud is typically hosted by a data center somewhere in the world. So it allows you to keep data sent by on-site IoT via an internet connection to a server source. This how somehow maximize the use of large storage data such as server and cost. The cloud is ideal for storing and processing vast amounts of data and training AI models. So as we expect, the reliability and the response time within the AI model is really crucial within that process. So therefore, there should be enough storage capability that is being handled by the cloud computing. With edge computing, it allows you to analyze data directly in the field and provides remotely managed processing power for other complex tasks. In difference, edge works close to IoT devices, make it much more responsive and avoiding the need to spend vast amount of raw data to the cloud. It also helps protect data privacy by keeping the data local on itself. As compared with cloud computing, edge computing can be realized in dedicated industrial pieces and private computing devices such as network switches, routers, controllers, or field devices. So we have what we call as the digital twins area. So this is the essential part of the industrial IoT. The concept is that its components are augmented by digital twins in a virtual world. The digital twin concept is a virtual representation of functions and data related to a device or technological system. It covers the entire life cycle of a product too. For example, for the design and engineering cases, the physical properties of the device can be implemented through the CAD drawings or the computer aided design drawings and functional disruptions which may be included. For production plans, component instructions such as assembly instructions are also included. In the production run, it begins to gather information about the production situation of the actual product, such as quality. So therefore, all relevant events such as critical sensors used for reading, fault detections, and service events are eventually logged during operations and maintenance. So as we conclude, IoT roles is to collect data from productions and operations and feed it to the digital twin to keep virtual representations up to date so that it will become a valid information. Now, what will be expect with the internet in the future? Internet of Things in the future. So the Internet of Things expected to further develop under the influence of the newest technology of the next generation mobile networks or the 5G network. One advantages of using the 5G network is that the IoT sensors or those devices do not consume much energy and have a short response times. The short response time will make it possible to connect the internet inexpensively and fastly. So until now, IoT devices have typically been connected by physical cables or established wireless standard. Those examples are the Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, or the Zigbee technology. Now, talking about possible risk, if there are a lot of advantages, there might be a possible risk posed by the Internet of Things, such as espionage and cyber attacks. Since everything is in the virtual world, these are vulnerable for hackers and attackers. Cyber attacks can delete or modify highly sensitive data that are stored through cloud. This attack can have hugely harmful consequences in terms of the business perspective or even to the extent of changing lives. In industries, for example, using the Internet of Things, if we ignore the cyber risk, it can completely disrupt business. That's why many of the company hired network security analysis and engineers, and they are responsible to maintain and secure or ensure the security of the entire network. Therefore, using the Internet of Things is a prerequisite. Optimal management of the cyber threats is imperative on an ongoing basis. The Internet of Things should only be used when accompanied by a comprehensive cybersecurity person approach and actions. So, it's a possibility that you need additional expenses in terms of handling the security, which is somehow could be depended because the Internet of Things will handle sophisticated data. The Internet of Things and cybersecurity must always go hand to hand in maintaining the these proper implementations of devices. So lastly, how the Internet of Things will change the world. Basically, as the sensors, data storage, the internet and analytics become faster and faster. It might also will cause decrease, or it is much cheaper, so therefore it is better and more integrated together. Then users will be able to rely on analytics to make better choice among those sensors and devices. Using the artificial intelligence, so analytics will be performed to give the user a better options. IoT devices will have a significant impact on many aspects of our lives, including how we live, drive, and farm animals in the crops. So thank you for listening and have a nice day.